From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Hillary Clinton was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1947, the daughter of a textile businessman named Hugh Ellsworth Rodham. She met her husband, William Clinton, in 1971 at Yale, and they would eventually marry in 1975. Together, the couple became a powerful force in the political spheres of Arkansas. When Bill Clinton became president in 1993, Hillary Clinton also became what journalists called the most openly empowered presidential wife in American history after Eleanor Roosevelt. This was in reference to Clinton's deep involvement with policies at the time, including vetting officials and campaigning for things like the healthcare initiative. In the years after becoming First Lady, Clinton served 2 terms as Senator of New York from 2001 to 2009. Additionally, she served as Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013. She first announced plans to run for the presidency in 2007, though it is widely acknowledged she was in the early stages of planning in 2003. In 2008, she lost the Democratic nomination to Senator Barack Obama, who would go on to fill 2 terms as U.S. President. As President Obama's second term draws to a close, it is overwhelmingly likely that either Secretary Clinton or her Republican rival, Donald Trump, will become the next U.S. President. This has been a brief summation of the significant positions Clinton held in her path toward the White House, but this is not a path free from controversy. In fact, according to her opponents, there's much more to the story. Here's where it gets crazy. Conspiracy theories surrounding Hillary Clinton don't just start at her campaign for presidency. They date back to the Clinton family's days in Arkansas. In the world of the mainstream, one of the most memorable conspiracies would be the Whitewater scandal, which began as an investigation into the Clintons' real estate investments through an entity called the Whitewater Development Corporation. After numerous investigations, Clinton associates and co-investors Jim and Susan McDougal were convicted on federal charges, with Bill Clinton pardoning Susan during his final days in the presidency. Despite multiple investigations, the Clintons themselves were never prosecuted. While this controversy gathered massive media attention, it leads to another rabbit hole: the death of Vince Foster. Vince Foster was a deputy White House counsel found dead in Virginia's Fort Marcy Park in July of 1993. His death was officially ruled a suicide, but U.S. Attorney Miguel Rodriguez, who was Kenneth Starr's head investigator at the time, disagreed. Instead, he alleged, Vince Foster was clearly the victim of homicide, with authorities suppressing evidence of a second gunshot wound through Foster's neck. To many theorists, Vince Foster was not only indirectly murdered by the Clintons, but was also just one of many alleged victims. The theory known as the Clinton body count argues that the Clinton family and its associates are responsible for the deaths of numerous people who crossed them during their rise to power. This theory is almost universally dismissed by the mainstream media. Each claim of death has varying probability or likelihood, but for those who believe the theory, at least a few of the cases appear to be suppressed. During her time as Secretary of State, Clinton was also accused of covering up the true nature of the attacks on the Libyan consulate in Benghazi. Officially, the matter was put to rest when, as Fox News reported,
the House committee investigating the deadly terror attack in Benghazi today released its report. After a 2-year, $7 million investigation, the 8th investigation to date, the authors of the report make no new accusations and provide no new evidence of wrongdoing against the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Suppression is another large part of the conspiratorial puzzle here. As Election Day draws closer and closer, more and more voters are looking for information on the burgeoning email scandal. In 2015, it became publicly known that Secretary Clinton had been using her family's private server to store official government emails. This was, to her opponents, a gross violation of protocol, especially if classified material was stored there. An FBI investigation found the behavior extremely careless but not prosecutable. However, when the private Gmail account of campaign manager John Podesta was hacked in March of 2016, more details emerged, prompting a new round of criticism toward the Clinton campaign. At the time of this recording, WikiLeaks has been releasing sections of Podesta's email in installments, a move which led the Ecuadorian embassy in London to sever the internet access of WikiLeaks leader Julian Assange. This is only a sliver of the conspiracy surrounding the Clinton campaign, not mentioning corruption in the DNC or allegations that the current front-running campaigns are working together in secret. Yet whether you think this is all a load of bunk or genuinely suppressed evidence of wrongdoing, one thing's for sure. Ecuador and the US tried to shut down WikiLeaks for influencing the US election, which can only mean one thing. There's something they don't want you to know. At least, not before it's time for you to vote. Learn more about the facts and conspiracies surrounding the Clinton campaign in our audio podcast, available at StuffTheyDon'tWantYouToKnow.com.